Hi guys, welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing all of the many lessons that I learned this year. I'm also going to be sharing my major highlights. I'm going to be sharing the lows, the not so good as well, and all the juicy stuff that went down in 2024. If you'd like to know more, definitely keep watching. At the start of this year, I filmed a video where I said I felt God leading me to travel light and not make specific plans or to be fixated on my own plans.
What God promises is to meet our needs per time, not our wants, not what we think we need or what He knows that we need. God will just have us travel light. People like us who like to overplan and beat ourselves up when we don't meet.
And I was led earlier this year to not be overly fixated on my own plans. It was an interesting ride. So I started out the year with no plan and many lofty dreams. This was a really major struggle for me because I'm someone who likes to plan. I am a planner to the T. If I'm going to cross the road, I need to know the exact time I'm going to cross the road, the precise method I'm going to use in crossing the road, what to avoid, and all of those details. One major lesson that I learned this year is God really can be trusted. God is dependable. And I know it sounds cliche, but for someone with no plan and how my life played out, or not even just how my life played out, how everything played out this year, it could only have been God. And I'm not just saying this because it sounds good. That's literally the testimony of my life this year. Thank God for how the year planned out. I want to thank God because in spite of my own fickle-mindedness, in spite of my own short-sightedness, I was able to bank on God's word and see Him work things out. One of the things that I'm also thankful for is an ability to live in London and survive. The past over 2 years that I've been in UK, London was my least preferred place. London was my least considered place, but then I found myself in London, and when I was moving, I was very apprehensive of what to expect, how I was going to survive, how I was just going to cope in general. But God really went ahead of me, prepared a place for me, and I survived. And I didn't just survive, I thrived, and I'm still thriving. So I want to also, thank God for that. I'm thankful for a thousand plus subscribers. Thank you to my amazing community who stuck with me in spite of my inconsistencies. I wasn't always showing up, but you people were always at it. A couple of persons equally messaged me. Thank you for being there. Thank you for still being there. And thank you to the new subscribers as well. Another major thing that I would say that I learned this year is, it's not necessarily about working anyhow. Smart and intentional work is always better than just working hard. So rather than focusing on the quantity of videos that I made, for instance, on YouTube, I decided to focus on quality. So I had to ensure that every time I'm putting out videos, I'm not just putting out random videos, but I'm putting out videos that have quality. And I saw that have a different impact on the growth of the channel. So I really like that, and it was a lesson that I learned and I'm picking and also running with in 2025. Another thing that I'm really proud of this year was my consistency at the gym. I was very, very consistent for the larger part. In fact, this year I went on a walk. It was about 34 kilometers. I'm going to put the actual distance, you guys. I think one thing I learned from that experience was it doesn't matter how difficult it seems when you take it in bits, when you take those baby steps actually count. It really just taught me that you can really achieve whatever it is that you set your mind to, God giving you the grace, of course. And if you prepare, preparation really goes a long way as well. Another thing that I learned this year, which I'm hoping to do better next year, is to be intentional about relationships. And I'm not talking about romantic relationships, I'm talking about friendships and family. And I know I said this last year, but this year, more particularly for friendships. So it's the level of intentionality and commitments that you put into your friendships that will determine how the friendship will thrive. So with adulthood comes a lot of responsibilities, a lot of obligations, a lot of things that you have to get sorted out, and sometimes it's easy to forget the important relationships like your friendships. So if you're not intentional about taking the time to actually call them, certain of you guys, I have called dates, I'm like, hey girl, we need to catch up, we've not spoken in a long time, let's catch up. So it took me a long time to be intentional. So this year I think I was a little more intentional, and I'm hoping that next year I'm even way more intentional. Every time I felt led to reach out to one of my friends or to give them a word that the Lord dropped in my heart for them, I tried my best to deliver. So I might have tired, maybe I delayed for like a couple of days, but eventually I'll try my best to deliver. So I think that's something I also want to do more next year. Take out time to actually intercede for my friends, for those who I know the secret desires of their hearts, to actually pray those desires and to just intercede more for my friends and for the people around me, even if they're not really my friends in quotes. So that's something that I wish I did more, and I'm hoping I get to do more of. I also had a wonderful Christmas celebration, you guys. My mom was here. I'm going to insert some of the clips. We had fun. We visited so many places. This was our first Christmas in London. It was my second Christmas. I would like to say second Christmas, but my second Christmassy experience in London, and I absolutely enjoyed it. 2024 taught me that God's method is the best. It taught me that God's timing is the best. And when God says it's your turn, it's really your turn. And so for every miracle, for every testimony that I experienced this year, it was literally God just saying, it's your turn. It wasn't because I worked hard. It was the testimony is it's not of him that wills, it's not of him that runs, it's of the Lord that just shows mercy. And that's my biggest highlight for 2024. So if you're taking anything at all from this video, just have that at the back of your mind that it is when God says it's your turn, it's your turn. And that's really the testimony of 2024. 2025 is looking good, you guys. It promises to be whatever it is that you want it to be. So you really need to start to set the stage ahead for 2025. What would you like to see? Take out time, even in the last few hours of the year, in the last few days of this year. Take out time to pray, take out time to make plans, make preparation. And if you're like me and God is leading you to not make plans, it doesn't stop you from having dreams regardless. God is your father. He is limitless, boundless in his capacities. Hopefully when I see you in the end of the year wrap in 2025, you would be in your multiplied state. Thank you so much for sticking with me all through 2024. Thank you for sticking with me in spite of my inconsistencies. Thank you for helping me achieve 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you, my 1,000 plus community. Let me know if you just joined the community this year. Let me know all of that detail in the comments. Let me also know what your biggest lesson or highlights was in 2024. Merry Christmas to those who celebrate. Happy holidays to every other person, and I wish you a happy new year. Happy 2025. See you next year.
There's not much to do when all I can is thinking about you.